Good morning, everybody. Can you believe it's Friday? Time flies when you're having fun. Um, Yesterday was a huge day for the E-mini. At over a 40-point range, it broke pretty hard after a day and a half of pause. And it is once again selling as I speak right now. It has taken out the overnight yesterday's low. It's pointed towards the 1812 area. If 1812 comes out, 1806, then the 1795, 1800 area is within reach. Equities around the globe sold overnight in response to the selling in the E-mini yesterday, and naturally today's financial press is filled with articles about the coming bear market, economic collapse, and all the other stuff. When these people get excited, remember, bad news sells. So weakness in the E-mini is going to support the financials. I don't really, as long as the E-mini is selling, you can't really make a case for being short the financials. Several articles were out about perhaps the bonds have reached a turning point. Yields are about to cross to the downside the 50-day and 200-day moving averages. They call it a death cross for yields. So there's some story out there that economic softness is going to lead to flight to quality, buying in treasuries, lower yields. We'll just have to see if that happens. So that's where we stand right now. I think today's news focus is going to be the direction of the E-mini. If it continues to sell, the financials are going to trade higher. When I first started out this morning, I was hoping to buy the 17 to 13 area. Yesterday, we left the market wanting to buy 17s to 21s. I think it's still our buy zone, followed by 9 to 13. Last night's low was 15, so we were a little aggressive on the buy side, but given the break in the E-mini down below 18, 15, we look halfway smart right now. If there is a sale today, it'll be failure to take out 28 to the buck, just like it was last night. Today's news, PPI and core PPI, both called up plus 1/10. No one will pay any attention to it. Europe's talking about fighting deflation. Japan's talking about their economic woes. The talk out of the Fed minutes was economic conditions are soft enough that we can keep interest rates low for a long period of time. So deflation really has been the battle that central bankers have been fighting since 2009, and they've tried to do that through lower interest rates, countered by government regulation, government increased taxes, etc. So here we are at resistance. 28 to the buck is resistance. It's going to get down to the direction of the E-mini. The E-mini continues to sell. This market's going to be higher. We really don't want to be short if the E-mini rallies back, and it could. A lot of times right before the day session opens, they have that last move in the night market, catch people on the wrong side of the market, then reverse them, take it back up. Now, if there are a lot of heavy sell orders on the E-mini, we'll get that first wave of selling. If the Fed plunge protection team is going to intervene, they'll let this first round of selling get done. When that selling dries up, they will enter the market, and short squeeze can start, and that's how they typically support the market. So 30, 40 minutes into the E-mini, if it sells heavily off of its opening, is when the E-mini will be most vulnerable to Fed intervention by the plunge protection team. So that's what we got for the note. Sell failure at 28 to the buck. We get through 125 even. We are headed higher. On the bond yesterday, we were buyers. We had hoped to buy on the bond yesterday the 16 to 20 area. That's a little bit high. It can't be right. The 5 to 9 area, the low was 3. So we did pretty darn good on that. And that's been followed by a high of 24. When you're hot, you're hot. My grounding to reality, of course, is Helen. And never get too far out of line without having things pointed out to me that are readily apparent to everybody but myself that I can't really walk on water, except in January after a real cold spell. So right now we're in the situation selling failure to take out 24 to 28. The rally has to continue. We got one of those round numbers at 135 right here, probably a pretty good barrier if you think about it. On the buy side, the last rotate down was 10. We're at 19, so we'll make 13s to 9s buy 1, and 1 to 5 buy 2. So the overnight research, yesterday's calls at the end of the market, produced winners if you'd taken the trades. As is usually the case, the overnight sessions trade technically. The trading baton is passed off to large institutional trading desks, and they know where support and resistance are. They are market makers. They lean against support and resistance, and that's what makes the trading in the overnight sessions so compelling. Like I joke with Fitz and Audrey and the rest of them, it's almost enough to make you want to move to London. With the operative word being almost. Nothing against living in London, it's just that I'm used to more sunshine. I had great times when I traveled through England, learned how to play a really mean game of darts. And the incentive was I go over to Cambridge, or where we happened, right outside of London is where we had a big air base. And the incentive was that barmaids would just beat you silly until you learned how to play the game. And so I had a good time. Perfectly paced for drinking beer, too. If you drink hard liquor, you wouldn't be able to see the board after a couple of rounds. So here we are in gold. I don't think it's any different. Last night we left wanting to sell 23s to 25s. If the E-mini sells, this market will probably trade higher. We also had a 28 to 30. We'll keep that. On the buy side last night, we had 15 to 17, and we'll keep that. We like the buy side better than the short side. These are basically yesterday's numbers for a lot of reasons. I just don't think anybody is going to dump their gold holdings if they haven't. Resistance is at 25, so the 23 to 25 is thinking like an exchange member. This is resistance. Prove me wrong. And we'll keep the buys and the sells the same. So, pretty damn good. We wanted to be long gold. We had a buy of 15 to 17. The low is 14. And that was followed by a high right now of 22. So, I mean, we know of what we speak. Thanks, Jimmy, on the knob. Gone up a little bit. I had 926 on yesterday's close, so it has strengthened a bit. And the euro, you know, you're getting where you start feeling pretty sorry for Mario Draghi and what he faces. The euro did trade higher last night. It did stop at 39. We had a sell last night in the euro, 38.90 to 39. They got stops above 139 even, so our buy was in the 65 to 75 area. We're just getting to that right now. So we've rejected prices at 39. And we said even though it was pointed up, when we have these 50 tick moves in the euro, it's proven to be pretty good fade trade. So selling 39s is where we were. So we're going to keep this. We're going to sell 39 plus or minus. And we'll make it 15 to 25. Don't think we can really trade it much higher today. On the buy side, 75 is initial support, so we'll make 50 to 60. We'll open it up a little bit to the downside for buy one. Don't think we can really break the market. And then 25 to 35 for buy two. I am more comfortable on the short side just due to the economics of Europe, but that hasn't stopped spreaders from selling the yen and the dollar and buying the euro, and that's where the strength has come from. Can't see that you'd be buying the euro dollar because of what's going on in the Ukraine. Okay, crude. Again, not a lot going on in the overnight session. It's saying that the potential for armed outbreaks, fighting between Russia and Ukraine, diminished. The Ukraine last night made some conciliatory statements telling the people to be calm, don't shoot. Things were going to get better. They were working through. They were going to bring civil order back, but no need for anybody to panic and pull out their weapons and take the law into their own hands. So, as we said yesterday, crude isn't forecasting a new outbreak of fighting or an escalation of tensions between Russia and the Ukraine. And the best evidence we have of this is Russia so far is following the model of aggression they used against Georgia. Come in, take one or two provinces, show them that you can cross the border at will. Better keep your mouth shut and get in line or else. So I think the market is pointed a little bit lower. We got this single print right down here, and we've got this breakout from this area. So I'm going to open it up a little bit to the downside, 50 to 75, on the chance that perhaps peace is going to break out between the Ukraine and Russia, and buy two at the buck to 02. On the sell side, we'll make 103.25 to 50, basically where it was last night. Although last night we had 50 to 75, did not quite make it, and 103.75 to 104 for sell 2. Okay, to the world's focus, the E-mini, which way is it going to trade today? And I think we need to go take a look at some big picture stuff. And we've the bar that we're looking at continues from yesterday, so it misstates the situation. Okay, there is pretty good support in this 12-13 area, and we've been down to 14.50. They got stops below 15, so this is potential support right here. The next little breakout really came at 1800. We got these lows right here, so 1800. And so this is a very long-term chart and very compressed, so 90 to 1800 if that 10 to 12 area comes out would be the next little band of support. And this market is pointed lower. Looking at the F2 screen, and the danger that we have right now is that quite often the overnight will extend the preceding day's range and the overnight session's range just before the day session opens, and then it can reverse from there. The biggest, I don't think anybody, based on what's happened this week, is going to be positioning from the long side, but there is a good chance people will cover shorts today. So we've got this low volume area right here at 12. We've got an attractor at 5. And then we've got low volume at 18 all the way down to 95. So this 95 to 1800 to me looks like pretty good support, and it would allow them to get stops below 1800. We've got an attractor in the 04, 05 area, and we got a low volume number here at 12. So if we can't take out this low volume number at 12.13, then short covering is where we are. Started out saying we might have to get short in the 20 area because of the selling when I was writing it, but the first sell will be in this 24, 26 area. And the second sell will be 29 to 31. We left yesterday's market wanting to sell what? Anybody remember? What was the overnight session high? Pretty damn good, folks. You could have made a lot of money. We traded down to 14.50 off of that. So I think the question mark right here is this 12.13 area. So there's if we can't break it early, then buying it, probably the 15 areas where we're going to get long. We'll put the 5 to 7, make that buy 1. And then basically 1800 for buy 2. Bill, you must be drooling, wishing you were back on the floor where you could come in and fade all that institutional selling as you walked into the room, into the pit, hoping that your all's local capital would overcome the institutional selling. This is a day that locals back in the old days could lose their rear end. Okay, that's all I have right now for the markets.